It's 4 p.m. local time now. Thank you for joining us on the CoreTV News Hour. I am Frank Komalape, and here are some of the stories we're filing now. The Nigerian authorities says bird flu is back in the country. This was after the discovery of what government officials describe as an unusual high mortality in two poultry farms and live bird markets in Kano and Lagos State. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture said in a statement that samples forwarded to the National Veterinary Research Institute tested positive for H5 strain of bird flu. Government officials have now sent confirmatory samples to the International Reference Laboratory in Padova, Italy for further characterization. They have also quarantined the infected premises and placed restriction on movement of poultry and poultry products into and out of areas around the infected premises. Now, the APC Presidential Campaign Organization says Jonathan administration owes Nigerians an explanation on what is called a phantom ceasefire with the Boko Haram. It said in a statement by his spokesman Garba Shehu that a democratic government should be open and accountable to the people rather than maintain what it terms a career of silence. The party recalled that on October 17, 2014, the Chief of Defense Staff, Alice Bade, told an expectant nation that a ceasefire deal has also included the immediate release of the kidnapped Chibok girls has been reached. But within 24 hours, the leader of the insurgents, Abubakar Shekau, released a video message that brushed off any deal with the government and denied Danladi Amadu, the so-called Boko Haram representatives, at the ceasefire talks. APC wondered why the Jonathan administration has not deemed it fit to offer the citizens an explanation on an issue of public importance. And now President Goodluck Jonathan has visited people displaced by the recent insurgent attacks on Bagari Maiduguri. The internally displaced persons numbering over 3,000 are accommodated at a teacher's village in the Borno State capital. He assured them that the military is now better equipped to take on the terrorists and retake the territories captured by Boko Haram. President Jonathan, who was on an unscheduled visit to the city, added that information reaching him from the service chiefs indicate that the 10 local government areas under insurgent control will be soon recaptured by the Nigerian military. He also promised the IDPs that they would be back to their various communities in the nearest future.
It's a sad thing to be talking about internally displaced person. Nobody is happy that you will be displaced within your own land. Of course, we know that the issue of terror is global, but the excess of Boko Haram is quite traumatic for all of us. President, I feel traumatized whenever I hear about these excesses. I feel very burdened. But let me reassure all Nigerians and indeed internally displaced persons that government is working very hard to make sure that you don't stay in these camps for too long.
Amnesty International has released satellite images of what it says show the magnitude of last week's Boko Haram attack on the northeast towns of Baga and Dorombaga. The images provide evidence of the scale of the insurgent attack on the two towns, which Nigerian military say left about 150 people dead. To underline the scale of destruction, Amnesty International released before and after images of the two neighboring towns, which are approximately 160 kilometers from Maiduguri. Speaking on the satellite pictures, Amnesty's researcher on Nigeria, Daniel Eyre, says the detailed images show that one of the towns was almost wiped off the map within 4 days. The images show that over 3,700 structures were damaged or completely destroyed in the two fishing towns in Baga, a densely populated town which is less than 2 square kilometers in size. About 620 structures were damaged or completely destroyed by fire, while in Dorombaga, more than 3,100 structures spread across most of the 4 square meter town were damaged. Amnesty International noted that many fishing boats, which were visible along the shoreline in the images of January 2, were no longer present in that of January 7 attack. He also suggests that the images are proof that the death toll could be higher than the 150 declared by Nigeria's military authorities. Following the recent attack by Boko Haram on Baga, the National Emergency Management Agency NEMA says over 3,000 people have been displaced. Representatives of the agency who were speaking at the National Information Center disclosed that the displaced persons are currently accommodated in Teachers Village camp in Maiduguri. He added that international partners have been collaborating with NEMA in providing humanitarian supply to people
NEMA is
displaced
providing
from
comprehensive humanitarian support to the about 3,200. That is the figure that we have now. 3,200 internally displaced persons from Baga who are currently in secure facility in Maiduguri. That's the Teachers Village camp. NEMA and its partners, the International Committee of the Red Cross and the Nigerian Red Cross Society, have pre-positioned humanitarian supplies and are ready to spend specialized humanitarian professionals to Baga to provide critical aid to the area's residents once the security situation permits.
The Nigerian authorities have confirmed that 15 Chadians were among 42 insurgents killed when troops foiled a Boko Haram attack on Biu. Coordinator of the National Information Center, Michael Mary, says 5 captured insurgents are being interrogated at a secured faculty by operatives of the Department of State Service. He insisted at a news conference in Abuja that Boko Haram is now resorting to suicide bombings after running out of options.
Yeah, the issue of the Chadians, it was 15, not 5, as we mentioned. Yeah. And you would wonder how dead people would have answered their names and said, yeah, I am a Chadian. But there are certain identification marks common to the people of the area. And because of the interrelationship over the years, you'll be able to know from those marks where they come from. It's like me. If you look at my mark, you think that I'm a Yoruba man like him. But the people of Biu have lived with quite a number of Chadians. There are lots of Chadians in Nigeria. Some doing the different business. Even here in Abuja. So that was how we arrived at this 15. Evidently, the rise in suicide bombings is a clear evidence that Boko Haram is running out of options. The government and these forces are fully committed to ensuring all militants are rooted out of Nigeria and any place that they deemed or proclaimed safe.
A few hours after releasing pictures from the recent battle in Biu, Nigeria's military has decided to stop making such gory images public. Some of the pictures released on the website of the defense headquarters showed corpses of some of the Boko Haram members killed during the gun battle. The military said in a Twitter feed that it would stop releasing pictures of dead insurgents after the latest ones went viral. It, however, was not specific on why it is stopping the practice. Away from that now, with the general elections just 29 days away, Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun has urged the residents of the state to shun violence and electoral malpractices. Speaking at the Armed Forces Remembrance Day in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, Amosun said this would be a good gesture to respect the men and women who gave their all for Nigerians' nationhood. He also commended the Nigerian Legion for its efforts in taking care of the dependents of the seized officers.
Enjoy all Nigerians to continue to pray the sustenance of our growing democracy. Nigeria has gone through a lot of political upheaval in the past. We must therefore call on God to help us to achieve peace, security, and development across the route to freedom in our nation. We must avoid participation in and encouragement to any form of electoral malpractice. We have voluntarily chosen democracy as a system through which we will choose our leaders. and indeed our mistakes. We all owe it to give to God, to ourselves, and all our heroes who have given all that they have. Lord help us all.
We'll take a break shortly. We'll be back with more stories after this timeout. Do join us again.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
I'm glad to have you back now. For more information on our news and other programs, visit our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can also follow us at CoreTV News NG. Our YouTube page is youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space, then News. Inspector General Police Suleiman Abba has ordered the police hierarchies at state commands to take adequate measures to protect arms and ammunition at their various departments and stations. Police spokesman Emmanuel Ejukwu says the step is necessary to avoid any likely attack by hoodlums on police stations and other installations. It comes few weeks after the Inspector General ordered that an audit be carried out on all police armories nationwide with a view to securing the police arms and ammunition. Commissioners of police and state commands have also been ordered to beef up security at banks within their jurisdictions and to collaborate with bank authorities to secure their premises. Catholic Bishop Matthew Kuka says the attitude of politicians with democratic antecedents remains the greatest threat to Nigeria's existence and democracy. He also noted that Nigerians are anxious over the next month's election because of fear over a possible repeat of the 2011 post-election violence in some part of the country. The Catholic bishop was speaking at an election sensitization workshop in Abuja.
Violence. Those who frustrate our elections go by various names in Nigeria. Some call them money bags, some call them godfathers, or the big man, or the chief, or the oga at the top. They exercise their influence by imposing candidates, weeding out those who are, in very many respects, and sadly so, too clean to wear their soiled garments. They walk with a swagger and are above the law in every sense of the word. It is they, not INEC, not the ordinary citizens of Nigeria, who pose a threat to our democracy. They are the ones who insist on what is called manufactured consent. They insist that their dictionaries cannot find the word failure, and all they have in their vocabulary is victory and success at all costs. Moving forward, what options do we have? The fear of violence has foundation in our society, and I have argued that it is tied to the end of the arrogance of those who have held on to power for too long, those who have enjoyed the fallout of a convoluted transition which merely recycled too many autocrats into power. The seeds of the danger of our democracy were sown at the primaries of the various political parties. The deployment of huge arsenal of resources to induce, seduce, intimidate, impose, depose, and eliminate candidates often mark the beginning of the rot in the system.
In the aftermath of the Jos unrest, where some youth set campaign buses on fire, calm has gradually returned to the city. The Commissioner of Police, Nasir Oki, while condemning the act, called on youth from all over the state and the country at large. The disease from such violence acts because anyone apprehended will be made to face the full wrath of the law. Oki, who has witnessed 2 bomb blasts and several communal clashes since his assumption of office as CP last year, confirmed the arrest of suspects in connection with the burning of the buses. A report is presented from this studio.
In Nigeria, violence has been recorded since independence. Before, during and after the elections, with the recent one being that of the 2011 post-election violence, which claimed many lives in Gombe State and other places. The recent setting on fire of President Goodluck Jonathan's campaign buses in Jos was said to have come as a surprise to many. While narrating how the incident occurred, the Plateau State Commissioner of Police, Nasiri Oki, said it was the handiwork of some hoodlums and 5 arrests has been made.
That 2 vehicles are being bought. The vehicles were passing through, they are going to Bauchi from Abuja, and at the Bauchi road, they were accosted and stopped, and miscreants burnt down the vehicles. All efforts made by the police, the fire brigade, was unable to actually prevent the vehicle from being completely burnt.
While responding to questions on the police command's preparations for the general elections to forestall any form of violence, Oki said a lot has been done already and that the recent incidents has pushed him and his command to re-strategize on how to ensure a peaceful election. He used the occasion to call on the citizens of Plateau State to abstain from violence and work towards peaceful and harmonious coexistence.
We had about 5 now, I think. We are almost 5 people arrested now. If you expect that they will be prosecuted accordingly. They will be prosecuted.
While expressing his displeasure on the burning of the buses, the governor of Plateau State, Jenny Jang, said perpetrators of electoral violence should not be allowed to roam the streets because they pose a great danger to the nation's existing democracy.
Some 2 campaign vehicles were passing from Abuja to Bauchi, carrying the posters of the president. They stopped around Bauchi Road to either buy something or to eat, and some rascals went up, fire on them. I've been reliably informed that a good number of them have been arrested, and we will not take anything allow any such thing to happen here on the plateau. People who cannot be patient in a democratic setup, then they are not part of any good society. So they should be put behind the bars, and we'll make sure.
And now the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion of the Diocese of Lagos West has put together a debate for governorship candidates in Lagos State. CoreTV News' Oluwaseyi Adegoke was there and filing this report.
The church auditorium was filled to capacity with people of different religion. School children and politicians were not left out of the event, which had 9 governorship candidates in attendance.
Candidates and political parties should realize that election represents offer to serve. There is therefore no basis for desperation that attends the exercise in Nigeria and in most African countries. The voters are the kings. They reserve the right to choose whoever they want, and this should be readily accepted by losers.
The candidates Atoye Biaregbeshola Action Alliance, Bolaji Ogunsheye Alliance for Democracy, Kayode Jacob Mega Party, Abiodun Popola Deputy Governorship Candidate of Labour Party, Akinwumi Ambode All Progressives Congress, Ayodele Akele National Conscience Party, Jimmy Agbaje People's Democratic Party, Akinola Obadino Independent Democrat Party, and Adegboyega Adeniji Kowa Party. One after the other, the candidates gave Lagosians a sneak preview of what they have in stock for Lagosians if elected.
Education is a trust in our party. Education such as we want to reassess the teaching aids and methods currently in use.
We have lost beautiful dividends of democracy. I cannot see free education going on now. I cannot see free health.
Many of our inner cities now are being taken over by slow-born, low-level mafia economy. You cannot drop anything or bring anything into a street without boys rushing at you and demanding as a matter of right to be paid unofficial taxes.
Every child, if you cannot progress academically, you should be able to progress vocationally.
My vision is to have a safe, clean, more prosperous Lagos state that is driven by quality service, that is driven by equity and justice. For the past 16 years, Lagos is surrounded by water. There's no water to drink. The vision for Lagos is simple. It's a vision of creating a city-state, a global megacity of well-educated, healthy, skilled people living in a secure and prosperous environment.
My own government is going to be a different perspective. In terms of education, he has done well, but there are some lapses which...
Presently in Lagos State, they said our local governments have no manpower. So all their responsibilities are stripped by the state. We will return that. The local government is nearest to you, the people. Through the local government, we will reorganize the community development associations.
Though these candidates have all painted the picture of a beautiful Lagos they will deliver to Lagosians if elected, but the quality of their representation will be tested in less than a month. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
And now APC chieftain and senator representing Kwara Central Senatorial District Bukola Saraki has urged Nigerians to vote en masse for Muhammadu Buhari and the All Progressive Congress for what he describes as better management of the country. Saraki, while speaking at the flag-off of the party's campaign ahead of the general election, says Nigeria needs a better manager at the federal level, adding that the PDP has failed Nigerians. He says APC is the only alternative to move the nation forward.
This time round, I want a result in 2015 to be even better than a result in 2011. And I know with the people we have a mandate and all of us supporting you, it is possible and we can do it. We don't want 60-40. We don't want 70-30. We don't want 80-20. Minimum 90 and above. When you want to compare Buhari with Jonathan, it's day and night. It is time for us to bring somebody who will fight for the common man, who will fight for the poor man, who will fight for Nigeria. And I am sure, Kwaras, whether you are in a party or you are in Labour, Accord, or any other party, if we put Buhari down, we put Jonathan down, you know who will take Nigeria forward.
We'll take another break now. We'll be back shortly with more stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Outside Nigeria, a suspected jihadist group recently targeted in the major anti-terror raid had been planning to keep policemen in the street and at police stations, according to Belgian prosecutors. They said the planned attacks were imminent, adding that 2 suspects shot dead in Verviers during the raids were still being identified. Searches were also carried out overnight in the Brussels area. 13 suspects had been arrested, while 2 were arrested in France. Guns, ammunition and explosives, as well as police uniforms and a large amount of money were seized during the raids. Eric van der Siept, another spokesman, added that the investigation has shown that the suspect has the intention to kill several policemen in the street and at police stations. And that wraps it up on CoreTV News at this time. Many thanks for watching. I am Frank Omalape. I'll see you again.